Uh, Welcome back to another episode of Super J Recap. I'm Kyle, and I'm joined by a special guest for these couple episodes.
Thor, base my banner. You know what it is.
Yep. So we are reviewing the first round matchup of the 1995 Super J Cup, and this one is the Ultimo Dragon taking on SHO Funaki.
Funaki.
So Funaki is representing Michinoku Pro Wrestling for this one, and Ultimo Dragon is the producer of this entire show, and he is representing War, which is the home promotion. Dragon came in as the NWA World Middleweight Champion and the War International Junior Heavyweight Champion. So he had two.
So he only had two belts at this point. He wasn't carrying 11.
No, that would be
like
later. Yeah, that would be later in the year.
In the same year.
Yep. It ends up being the J Crown is
96.
later this year. Yep.
Oh, okay. Wow. This was a different match than the first two that we watched.
Yes.
You know, in both, I think because I saw Funaki and I saw Ultimo Dragon and I thought this was. I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, let's do this. Let's see what 1995 Japanese wrestling's all about. And it started a little hot. I was like, all right. Then they slowed it down in the middle, just too much for my liking.
Yeah, like it very much felt like, hey, we're going 7 or 8 minutes, whatever it ended up being, and the referee's going to give us a call, the cue when it's at 7 minutes, and Dragon's going to do his finishing sequence, and up until then we're just going to do whatever.
Yeah.
Because it was like super fast paced. Like there was a victory roll by Funaki, and Len, like it was just leg lock after leg lock, and just trading leg locks. And I'm just like, I'm sitting here, and I'm just like, I feel so bad that this is the match that I gave Thor. I'm so sorry.
All these. You know how much I love rest holds, man. Come on, I'm rest hold king over here. But no, I didn't mind it. I saw what they were doing, starting hot, then they're slowing it down. And I thought if they would have maybe had another, just maybe even one spot right in the middle of that slow period, could have helped this match dramatically. Because the finish came abruptly.
Yeah, that was.
It started to pick up and then done.
Yep, exactly. And like, it was so weird of just, it was like, so even my notes say way too long of leg locks, super sloppy Hurricane Rana, and then an Acai moonsault by Ultimo Dragon, Fisherman Buster just for 2, Dragon drops him with another Fisherman Buster, top rope Hurricane Rana, DDT, moonsault, La Mistral Cradle, done.
Done. Yep. It was that. It was boom, 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 and then just finished. Yep. So, and I was actually because I had what I was telling you before we started recording. I watched these in my sauna, not bougie or anything, but I was watching these in the sauna, and I sat down to watch this match, and I usually sit in there for like 25, 30 minutes, right? So I was like, oh, well, this will take at least 10 minutes. I figured, maybe 8, but I figured like 10-ish with the name, right? And then I had started it a little bit before I'd gotten in there. I watched like the beginning part, the hot part, and then I had to pause it. Then I got in there, and that's when I started with like the rest holds. And I was like, man, this is, oh man. And then all of a sudden it was over, and I was like, barely any time had passed, and I was like, oh well, on to the next one. But it was for what it was all right. But with the two names, it could have been substantially better.
Yeah. I agree. And so I kind of agree. Like it was kind of a match that was just there. Like, there wasn't anything atrociously bad by any means, but then, there was nothing like too, super cool to like sink your teeth into either. So obviously, like I said, Dragon's got 2 titles going into this. And one of the things that I'm doing this time around is, yep.
One thing I was gonna say, I was impressed by like the split crowd in the beginning. They were almost doing like a Funaki dragon
Yeah.
chant, which is something you see nowadays a lot of times when they do, whatever, this wrestler versus this wrestler,
Mhm.
and they'll chant the two opposing names. That's become a trope nowadays. But when I saw that back then, I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. I like that Funaki was a little more over than I thought he would be, and I figured Dragon was going to be pretty
Yeah,
popular.
especially his home promotion, that whole
Right.
thing. Um, they did the opening ceremonies. He's before, and even I think they legitimately announced him as the producer of the show. So
Oh, okay.
like people knew, it's like, oh no, he's behind this. Like, it's cool. He's the one who put it together. Liger put it together last time. He's the one who put it together this time. Thanks
Okay.
for bringing it to war.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I'm going to add this time around for the 95 is, as a person gets eliminated, I'm going to tell you what they happen to do going forward. So SHO Funaki is, probably the easiest to figure out what happened to him. He continued with Michinoku Pro, ends up joining Kaientai later in the year. Because he was kind of off and on. He was in Michinoku Pro, but he wasn't with Kaientai yet, is what I'm gathering from the results I've read. So he'll join Kaientai later. Then that moved into him with Kaientai going to ECW for a short stint, and then obviously going to the WWF, where
Yep.
Kaientai became a thing, and then Funaki himself became SmackDown's #1 announcer, and is
Yeah.
now basically their liaison between themselves and the Japanese talent that they've got on for NXT.
And probably like Shinsuke,
Yes.
probably him
Yeah.
too. So but yeah,
So Thor,
that's
plugs and all that stuff.
oh, based on my banner. Oh, I'm doing some stuff with TSL again. There's gonna be Saturday nights, a little thing called TSL Underground. I'm gonna be live announcing via a live stream, put together matches from around the country. It's gonna be cool. Check it out. The Saber Legion. Me and Kyle both work for them. They do great stuff. Based on my banner. Go look at that stuff. Yeah.
All right. Yep. And then follow this video at Knocked Out Films, and subscribe and like on the YouTube channel. Thanks.
Deuces.
All right.